channel. One of those corny entries, right? Anyway, I want to get on here today and talk about Tundras this year. I am going to step out on a ledge and say there is not going to be a new Tundra this year. The redesigned Toyota Tundra is not going to be released by the end of this year. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. You see, because I'm looking to get a new Tundra, right? The new redesigned Tundra. And let me tell you why I think it's not going to happen. You know, have you driven around town lately? Have you checked out any of the car lots out there? Have you been to a Toyota dealership? It's like a ghost town out there. I had an oil change done, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, something like that, on the Tacoma back here. And it was amazing to me how few vehicles altogether, let alone trucks, there were on that lot. I think there were a handful of Tacomas and maybe 5 Toyota Tundras. That was it. And they were all low-level base trucks. So it seems to me that right now Toyota is focusing on the lower trim stuff, right? And we all know why this is. It's because of this semiconductor chip shortage. Apparently, these little tiny chips, of which there are many in every new truck, is crippling the market right now. It's all because of the current world situation, but they're not out there. They don't exist. I just saw a news story. It was, I think, 2 nights ago, and it was specifically focusing on those semiconductors. They stated that the truck market is going to suffer through the end of this year. It's not going to be until next year at some point that they actually are able to start flooding the market again with these little semiconductors. Now, a couple things about that. I've had some comments, particularly on my other channel, Rob Motive, about the U.S. should set up their own manufacturing. While I don't disagree with that, it'd be nice to manufacture everything here. It's not realistic. I mean, by the time they find a plant, put everything together, hire a skilled workforce, start manufacturing, do all the testing, send them out, do all the stuff that you need to do, the chip shortage will be over. They'll be coming from overseas again, which we can't compete because we cost more money, and it will be a futile effort. So that's not going to happen. The U.S. is not going to jump back into the semiconductor market. I just don't see that as a realistic possibility. Now, one thing that I've heard that some of the manufacturers are doing, which I think is absolutely horrible, but I guess if you need a truck, you need a truck, is they're putting in the old needle indicators. You know, they're getting rid of the digital gauges and clusters and stuff that they have in trucks, right? So instead of having a readout that's your speedometer, you've got the old needle going back and forth. They're doing that because obviously that's old technology, old parts, and they don't require semiconductors. The only problem I have with that, for me, it's a step backwards. I love all the tech and stuff that they're putting in all vehicles these days, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the new redesigned Tundra. I would be very disappointed if Toyota decides to do the same thing, come out with this redesigned Tundra, and the gauge cluster is loaded with needle gauges, right? That would be horrible in my opinion. What about that giant touch screen? You know, I'm looking forward to that almost as much as I am the whole truck because I think it's cool. It's something I value. And I know a lot of you out there may not agree with me there, but I want all that bling and tech and stuff in there. So I want that big 12-inch touchscreen, right? It's going to be very disappointing to me if I hop in the new redesigned Tundra and it's got the same radio in it that it has now. That's not a step forward. I would think it would be to Toyota's benefit to just continue producing the current model. You know, maybe delay the release of this new truck until at some point when the market, the semiconductor market, catches up. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some kind of an announcement, although there's a little conflicting info out there, but I think there's going to be some kind of an announcement that the new redesigned Tundra has been delayed due to the semiconductor shortage, and it's not going to be released until at some point in 2022. either as a late 2022 model or a 2023. Now, I say it's conflicting because Toyota recently put out this teaser video, right? And anybody who's an enthusiast, you've probably seen this by now, but it was the front of the Tacoma with all the lights on, blinding you so you couldn't see anything else. For all we know, all they have is the front of the Tundra, right? But they put that little short video out, which is pretty cool. I'm digging the way it looks. But why would they do that if they weren't going to shortly follow it up with something else? More details released. Maybe a better visual of what this new Tundra is going to look like. Because it makes no sense to me from a marketing standpoint, and I'm no marketing guru, but it makes no sense to me that you take that initial shot, you create the buzz, and then you just let it go? Why would you waste your time? Why would you raise expectations, spend the money to put that out? I mean, they did pay somebody to develop that, right? They did have to pay somebody to advertise it and distribute it. Why would you do that and then not have more coming after, either in the form of maybe an announced full release date, or just maybe some more teaser stuff where we can actually see more of the truck? So it's that little piece that I'm thinking might prove me wrong. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the new Tundra does come out this year. I hope it's available before the end of the year. In other words, you can actually go out, put your hands on one, and buy it. However, I'm thinking that since they originally announced, or the last I've heard anyway that they announced, that this Tundra was going to be released in 2021 as a 2022 model in December, that indeed you won't be able to put your hands on one until 2022 anyway. I think that they might start ramping up production, assuming they have these chips, get these trucks ready, and then start trickling them out maybe at the very end of 2021. But they're still not going to be available to the masses, you and me, until 2022. Anyway, like I said, I do hope that I'm wrong, but I really don't think there's going to be a new Tundra this year. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Am I off base? Am I missing something here? Is there a boatload of semiconductors waiting? Maybe that ship that blocked that canal that's still being held for $1 million ransom, fines in other words, maybe that has all the semiconductors on it, and we're just waiting for that to be released. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I have 2 additional channels. The first is Rob Motive, all about my 2020 chip-included Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay hopeful out there. Bye.